Oh, great. I would start sneezing right away as soon as I start live. But let's get some cards. What's the energy today? Let me see what's going on in these energies today. I'm using the Play School flashcards. Haven't used them in a little while. They were my everyday role buddies. Okay, we have the rabbit. The color yellow with the sun. The quilt. The yellow pencil. And the 4 dogs. Okay. So the rabbit, you birthed something in creation in the past, okay? And then you focused on feeling the higher vibration. Right now, with the quilt, there's this, like, it's still, something's keeping you warm while you're waiting for it to bud, okay? Keep telling the new story with this pencil. I'm hearing keep telling the new story because this is what puts more of energy into action, more of the energy into action. Let's get some tarot with this. The bottom of the deck is, again, it's the sun. Yeah. So the sun is the energy of what you've created. You got to align with that sun energy in order to realize it with your real eyes. Yes. Okay. Let's get the Hermetic Tarot out. Get some tarot cards popping on this. See what else will be revealed about this experience. Okay, wherever that music is coming from, that could be part of your reading. For somebody, it definitely is. If you know about that music, then that's 5,000 points for you. It should be like 500,000. Because I have no idea what that was. But if you know, they said 5,000 points. They said 500,000 points. Would that be unfair? They said, if you don't think that's unfair, then go ahead and put 500,000 points. There's something about your worthiness coming up in that. There's something about what do you believe that you deserve. Okay. What is up in this message? Okay. Let's get some shuffles on this here. Hermetic Tarot. Tarot. What can you show Hermetic Tarot? What can you show Hermetic Tarot? Okay. What's this rabbit? Show me the rabbit. Why is the rabbit here? Because of the 8 of Pentacles. Because this is what you put dedicated effort to. Okay. Oh, you planted some seeds about use your fertility, use your creative abilities in regards to work, your career, your finances. Okay. All right. You were very consistent. Okay. You had to be persistent. What's the sun? Why is yellow here in the sun in the recent past? The 6 of Cups. Lord of pleasure. Yeah, you had to find pleasure in your recent past. Okay, so wherever this 8 of Pentacles meant for you with the rabbit, which we talked about, whether it's career or relationship or your money, focusing on bringing in more money, you brought your fertility, creative energy to this 8 of Pentacles. And then because you did that, you took time, what you needed to do along the path to get here, which is this quilt energy is here with this yellow sun and the 6 of Cups. What you have to do was get into the vibe of the pleasure. Yeah. So that lets me know for some of you, you had to re-stimulate your passion. You had to re-stimulate your desire about this from the past. Like, this is where maybe a career path kind of gets boring and then you find some reinvigoration in it. Or this is where a relationship has become stale in some sort of way. And then you reignite the fire in it, baby. Yeah, I heard, come on, baby, light my fire. Yeah. Okay, 6 of Cups in yellow. I also see in some of you in the spiritual journey, this was about you bringing awareness and conscious light to places that was sitting in your childhood, repetitively from your childhood, occurring in your adult life. Why is the quilt here? Let me see this quilt. What's the quilt? Why is this quilt here? Show me why the quilt is here. The quilt is here because of the Two of Cups. Oh, love and protection. Oh, laying in bed with love. Okay, yeah. Love, the Lord of love with the quilt. What protects you is your love right now. This is where you're at. Your vision, your seeds that you planted are protected because of love you pour into them. Okay, your love over this experience, over this situation, is the protection over it. Let me see, why is it's what keeps it warm. Okay, and it's showing me how an egg has to be incubated for so long in a certain temperature. Yeah, it's like that. But it's not talking about physical, external climate style temperature. It's not talking about thermostat temperature. It's talking about vibrational temperature. The vibrational temperature, this happiness that you're showing up with here. This is the kind of thing that it's talking about. Yes. Okay. So let's get some more information on this pencil, the yellow pencil. We have yellow and yellow on both sides of you is happiness. So that's good. But it's also talking about keep writing the new story. So what is the message of this yellow pencil, please and thank you? Why is the yellow pencil here? The Ace of Swords. I just said it. Keep on writing this new story, right? The Ace of Swords is a yes, a universal yes. It's a win, but it's definitely the story you tell. It's definitely the story that you tell. Using your powerful throat chakra to speak out into existence certain things for yourself from the new story. Tell the new story, not the old story. What is your new story? Your new story is whatever the heck you want it to be. I heard your new story is whatever the heck you want it to be. There's no parameters. There's no rules on what the new story must be. Okay. Sorry, guys, but all of a sudden, these allergies done kicked up, seemingly from nowhere. All right, the 4 puppy dogs all running in the same direction. What is with these 4 puppy dogs? The number 4, okay, 4, stability. 4, is it on the 4th? Excuse me. For somebody, it's on the 4th, 4 days, 4 weeks at 4 o'clock p.m. or 4 o'clock in the morning. The 9 of Wands. The Lord of great strength. All of a sudden, it's like, as you tell your new story, all of a sudden you realize how all your skills and abilities that you've built up from these past experiences become so much a part of this new story. It's like, oh, dang, well, I know how to do this. I have that skill. I have this ability. I have that knowledge and wisdom. And guess what? I can use that for this new story. Okay, that's the way that's coming through. Yeah, the 10 of Swords, because the old story is said and done. It's over. 10 of Swords, that's over. All right. I want to use my handmade oracle cards and see what else Spirit will show us about this message right now. Shout out to Daisy, our first commenter for the live session today. What can you reveal? What can we see about this experience coming through here? Somebody's a Chinese zodiac sign of a rabbit. I see that here clearly. All right, let me see. What do we have in this message? What's the message? Make it clear. Accuracy, clarity, and simplicity. For my beloved brothers and sisters of humanity, for their highest, lightest, and brightest good, for their overall love, peace, health, wealth, and happiness. What's the message? Show me this rabbit. Why is this rabbit here? The rabbit. There's nothing more. Truth is nothing more than a word meaning what is so right now, yet what is so is always changing. Therefore, truth is always changing. And the truth is always changing. So you, although things kept staying the same, it was at the point where you were like, hold on, it's just changing to the same thing over and over again. I'm going to decide what I want to change it to this time. Okay. With the yellow sun and the 6 of Cups, we have ᥕᥲᥡs, okay, somebody, ᥕᥲᥡs, the dates of November 29th to December 17th could be of significance. It could be a Wednesday, a Friday, or the numbers 3, 9, 12, 21 could be significant. The colors blue, green, and purple. Somebody has a snake. Okay, and with that, with the 6 of Cups in yellow, here we go. I am connected to every alternate reality version of myself, and I invoke the union of these in every time, space, and dimension. I am accessing all of me in every other alternate reality. Now, this is a experience where you, with the snake charmer, you went in and you charmed the pants off of different aspects of yourself to get them to reunite, Okay. I see that. You have some understanding about things that were how your childhood played a role in the repetitive cycles, or how the division between you, and you caused the repetitive cycles. And you began, instead to just sit in the division, in the fragmentation, you began to remember yourself, reestablish yourself, reconnect to yourself. And with conscious awareness, you did this with conscious awareness. For somebody, this is, I see an experience where you always had all these different traits, abilities, maybe you had different skills you were utilizing, but people didn't know. And I see a period where you started bringing that to the foreground and letting folks know, hey, I do all these things. All of this is me. Okay. And the Q always talks about being safe and secure for me. Q, my grandson Q just came to mind. Okay. So is there something about your creation that looks just like you? Okay. Let me see. Why do we have Q here in the central focus for our reading? The root chakra. Muladhara. The first chakra. Okay, we're going to get something with that. And it says, I wanted to be able to provide more, so I left before making you sore insufficiency. So right now, is there a situation where you feel like insufficiency in your life, unable to provide what you want to one that you love? Okay, that's coming out right here. Okay. Maybe you're keeping that under cover, keeping that under wraps. Somebody here in a love situation, I see somebody who's laying under their blanket, bawling their head out in their comfy space with their blanket because they don't understand why somebody left, or they knew. I also see somebody where you knew you wouldn't be able to live up to the things, so you just pulled out. You're just like, never mind, I don't want to do that because I'm going to hurt their feelings, and I don't want to hurt their feelings. Because either you could provide more and they wouldn't let you, or you wanted to provide more and you couldn't provide more. I see it those both ways. Okay. Let me see this yellow pencil with the Ace of Swords. Why is this yellow pencil here with the Ace of Swords? What do we have? This is something that's going to occur in the situation next. And it says you can't heal in the same environment that poisoned you. You can't heal in the same environment that poisoned you. So instead of telling the same story, because that same story is like the poisoning in this. And I'm hearing, no, you didn't do it to yourself initially. It definitely involves somebody else. We're not dismissing their behavior. And, it's unfolded this way, but your power is going to be in leaving that out of the conversation. And how can we just Somebody said, I can't leave it out of the conversation. I heard you. And it's like, but this is my reality. I hear, but this is my reality. So I hear somebody who's arguing for their limitations. Because that experience, although you're 100% right, they shouldn't have did that. That shouldn't have happened. Whatever. That hurt you in the past with your childhood. But if you keep on focusing on that story, then there's all these other experiences that are escaping your notice because your vibration is not matching them. And that's all we're saying. Like, your vibration could be at the top, but they're saying you lower your vibration every time you tell the old story, and they want to see that vibration raised up to match the sun. Remember that this is in a sun vibration. This is in an empowerment. So if you could tell that same old story from a place of empowerment, from a place of having been healed, from a place of realization of how it served you up something on a platter that serves is beneficial to you, then it would be different than you telling that same old story from a place of boo-hoo, woe is me, that's fucked up. Come on, let's all get on the beat them up bandwagon because they were wrong. That's a different vibe. A whole different vibe. One is so empowered, and the other, you might think it looks like physical power, but it's a very, very disempowering energy. So there's something here about having to change your environment, even, about changing your environment, whether that's your mental environment, your conversational environment. And somebody here, you definitely got to change your physical environment. And so I see you making plans to do so, because you have been, I heard, burying your head under the blanket to avoid the poison that's been in front of you, the environment. You're like, I don't want to look at that, so I'm just going to cover my head. Well, that's good. That's a start. I said, but you got to get yourself up out of there. All right. Let me see the four puppies. 4 puppies with the 9 of Wands. Why was this 4 puppies? This is what the situation's evolving into. Okay. A gift. It can be held, seen, and felt. It's yours. Yay. You're going to be ready to get off the hamster's wheel. You've done enough of that on already. The gift is coming in. Okay. It can be held, seen, and felt, and it's yours. It's going to delight you. It makes you say, yay. Okay. The assistance arrives. The bottom of the deck. The words from your mouth speak empowerment and health. Keep talking. This is kind of the vibe that I was just receiving. Or it's like, if you can tell that story in an empowered way, everybody has a story. Everybody has a story that doesn't feel good. Everybody has one. If you live on planet Earth, you've got one. But can you tell that not feel good story in a very feel good way? It's possible. We're not telling you to embellish it with falseness. We're not telling you to lie about your path and where you're at. What we're doing is asking you to find out, how did that difficult experience, okay, that you went through over and over again, creating you this cohesiveness in yourself, creating you this empowerment in yourself. For example, somebody goes through some sort of physical disrespect, abuse, unhealthy situation, and comes out of it. And as a result, they have better boundaries. They have a different perspective about abuse. They have become an advocate, or they wrote a book, or they did some artwork or something like that. They took this experience. It wasn't pleasurable. It wasn't enjoyable. And nobody would say, hey, I want to do that. Nobody ever is lined up to go through that experience. But out of that experience, some empowerment was delivered. That's what Spirit's looking for here. What's the empowerment delivered to you from that poisonous situation? And then I hear, because energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transmuted. So for somebody, if you wanted to know, how do I change my story? How do I change my life story? How do I change this experience? This is how. This is saying you find out how even in here in this darkness where you felt blocked, topped off, I'm just seeing that in this imagery now. How did it show you what else was available, what else to do? How would it cause you to make a different choice? Maybe it made you more compassionate. Maybe it made you maybe you had no boundaries and it made you learn to have some boundaries. Maybe you didn't know how to speak for yourself because as a child you were always told children are meant to be seen, not heard type of shit. And now you speak for yourself, okay? Whatever the situation in the past, the light was being shown so you could find the empowerment in it. And they're showing me that you've already found, in the recent experience, you've already found the empowerment that was at the core of this, okay? Now it's about you telling the story about that empowerment to move forward. And this is where the gift unfolds. Mm-hmm. And here, yeah, the truth was always changing. That was always sure. That was always a guarantee. Change is a guarantee. And in planet Earth, change is a guarantee. Learning is a guarantee. You're going to learn a lot. Okay? And love is always there. And a lot of people will not agree with it. They will say, no, love is not always there. That's because you keep looking to a person. If you could look at how this experience guided you towards love, how you were loved and protected from the invisible realms through this experience, tell the new story. What did you learn? And then it unlocks that gift. I heard you could do that, or you could keep going down the repetitive cycle of I work, and I'm looking for happiness, but it's not happening. And you could continue to write the story of being blocked and challenged, and then you'll see blocked and challenged. So thank you for your blessings. Excuse all the sneezing. I'm going to go ahead and call it good here and just go sneeze in peace. And I'll be back at another time with more for you. Until then, I'm sending you so much love and peace and happiness. 감사합니다. Gracias, little baby. And I'm out.